girl child belly start to swell. Some say life is a cycle, but don't throw she no circle. Well, we got and don't time to tell. Outside the siren keep howling, inside your belly we growling. Police raid very often, Simpson measuring a coffin. One night in bed you're sleeping, next night is a wave that you're keeping. So you're praying to win the lotto, not to hear voices from the ghetto. Crying, 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 voices from the ghetto. Crying, Lord, crying, voices from the ghetto. We are not a forgotten people. Yo. With dented pride, your soul got on. Revolution, state politicians born, and often their tragic story brings a journalist glory. No wonder they feel the world scorn. From since the day they're born, some call them rebels without a cause. These social victims of unjust laws, but yet they christen the heroes. Renegades, desperados, forever knocking on heaven's doors. Hear me? Steel band music shatters the silence. Harmony to conquer the violence. Big men run when cops approach, fighting for scraps with the cockroach. Young turfs, they're tough protecting, almost every young girl expecting. So tomorrow, next to tomorrow, there'll be another voice from the ghetto. Crying, Lord, crying, crying, voices from the ghetto. Crying, happy to come to call mama. Crying, happy to come to call papa. Crying, voices from the ghetto. Social amenities, Lord, heaven knows. Opportunities, well, them always close. Can't get what once said white collar. So if you can't stretch your dollar, it's later for you to smoke your pipe. You're short of bread from pride. Life does rape dignity and pride. Till there's only bitterness left inside. Arguments are settled with muscle till you're 6 feet deep by 3 feet wide. Children to life keep on drifting. It's something they're smoking or sniffing. And maybe they're trying to forget this life of misery and regret.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm coming to you from the darkness that is enveloping Trinidad and Tobago. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling what is happening in this country? Are you looking around and paying attention, Trinidad and Tobago? Serious thing now. We busting mark, we making noise, we calling thing. Nothing happening. Those in control who pulling the strings of the politicians, laughing all the way to the bank. The bank has now become your master. You have no choice but to put your money in the bank. The word susu has been turned into a bad phrase. Instead of being a help out for poor people, bandits thief the word susu to disguise a pyramid to rob people money. And the media gone with that because it's helping the banking cartel. Because the banking cartel want the word susu to be a bad word. Trinidad and Tobago, look at where you are. Plenty of you on my news feed ringing up my space about what's going on in America. America could burn to the ground tonight. This is about Trinidad and Tobago. I don't care what's going on in America. Our country on fire. Trinidad and Tobago in a mess. Long time now. What's going on in America is America business. Those of you all who in America, you all focus on that. Those of you who in Trinidad, your latrine overflowing. Shit in your kitchen, shit in your bedroom, shit between your toes. Look around Trinidad and Tobago. I told you all yesterday, all our income gone, all. There's nothing to make us money. The government thieving taxation. They're taxing you. You're literally paying them to thief your money. That's where we at. That's where we at. In the opposition, still in disarray. I said I given Kamala my support. I don't think the trolls and the sycophants in the UNC understood what that meant when I said I wanted nothing in return. Because as long as you want nothing in return, nobody will pull your strings and tell you how to dance. But I support Kamala Prasad Bisesa and the UNC. I want the 450,000 voters of the UNC to be joined with the rest of Trinidad and Tobago and help expunge the criminality operating behind this PNM government. But we have to be careful. We have to be mindful. Can't take our eye off the ball. Kamala has given us some good moves. We've seen her remove people. I could defend that. I could defend that. But then she appoints Kirk Mago as a PRO. Kirk Mago is a nice guy. Real nice guy. I like Kirk Mago. I think Kirk Mago is very bright. But Kirk Mago is not a PRO, and he will not do well for the UNC, notoriously formidably lousy at communicating. 2015, the UNC lost an election, death by 1,000 cuts. I said that in a video, now it's all over Facebook. It was death by 1,000 cuts. Faris Al-Rawi, his job was to do magic, sleight of hand, and all those morning talk shows every single day. He sat down with Fazir Mohammed and said to Fazir that the 9/11 wasn't as bad as Emailgate. Said that. I couldn't believe when I heard those words. That there was nothing these people wouldn't do or say to galvanize their supporters, and their financiers own and control the media. So the UNC already on the back foot. But the UNC is operating like they have this game to win, and they don't. They had the game to win in 2020 and they lost. And they lost because they've not been able to capture hearts and minds. I told David Naked, my very good friend yesterday, I told David Naked, the UNC has a fantastic ground game. They're great on the ground. They could walk for miles. But their communication, especially beyond the Carney Bridge, is lost. And they need to focus on that. So you don't hire an inexperienced historian like Kirk Mago as your PRO, but it's not my party and I can't tell them what to do. I could advise and I could suggest to the 450,000 UNC supporters, the mismanagement can't continue because you'll forever be in opposition. You'll forever be in opposition. Take that from me. The UNC built a lot of its communication on people like Gard Christopher and Marcia Braveboy, a transvestite or transsexual or trans something, transgender, and a psychic. It was a circus. The UNC's communication, Rodney Charles, Vasant Bharat, a transgender, a psychic, a lunatic, Marcia Brave Boy, who telling the public that the PNM sending voodoo lash for her and all kind of madness. And then God Christopher who flagging down every taxi outside there. God Christopher who went to join PEP and tell Felicia Holder he want to be her number 2 if Phillip lead the party so he could help her build that. All of them, that's it. That is the sum total of what was speaking for Stark. Stark is a nice little fella to kick ball with, pelt stone at can. But that can't be your communication. That can't be the sum total of your communication. How do I tell them that more? How do I tell the party, the UNC, the People's Partnership, for all the shit that went on under the People's Partnership? The People's Partnership was possibly the most productive government this country has ever had. And they did a lot of good things. But nobody knows what they did. The UNC came into the heart, the beating heart of the PNM in Diego Martin and solved traffic in the morning. That, in the evening, that traffic to come home to Diego Martin should have won the People's Partnership all 3 seats in Diego Martin, but it couldn't because they don't know how to translate that. Beyond the crab in the barrel madness that takes place in the UNC safe seats, beyond that, UNC don't know how to come Laventille. UNC don't know how to walk Beaton. The best benefit, the greatest asset the UNC has right now is Jolene John. Jolene John is the last best asset that the UNC has to bring them beyond the Caroni Bridge. This is serious talk because the reason I'm talking about the UNC so much is this. This PNM government was a bandit government between 2015 and 2020. We've given them a second bite of the cherry and they're running home. Right now, Laventille has not had water for a full month. For a full month. And while you can cuss the Laventille people for continuously voting for the PNM, you can't cuss them because they are citizens of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and like every other citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, are entitled to a water supply 24/7. So if Laventille don't qualify to get water, who does? Goodwood Park? Falsane by Rohan Senanan? You're living in a country where half of the Ministry of Works and Transport went rogue. The Public Transport Service Corporation, the only purpose of the Ministry of Transport, told the nation in a release, we can't drive on the roads that the ministry we are a part of are responsible for. If the Public Transport Service Corporation fed up of the Ministry of Works and Transport, who have it good? Goodwood Park? Falsane by Rohan Senanan? Sinclair? Fairways? Gulf View? Who have it nice? Who have it nice? And to Trinidad and Tobago, to all of us playing games, watching America tonight. You see what's going on Capitol Hill in America? The only thing there for you is the lesson. Don't lose the lesson. The only thing going on in America is the dark underside of democracy. What democracy means, the power of the people, whether you like or not, decide or not, and the people they back in or not, doesn't matter. What matters is democracy is the right and freedom of the people to express political control of their destiny. That is what they broke from the King and the Queen of England for. That's what happened in 1776. Treason in the colonies resulted in the Fortress of Liberty. And it is manifesting again tonight. Stay out of America business. If you can't put on a washikong and come in town and protest for Wassa, stay out of America business. If you can't put on a batter bullets and come in town and protest for what the government passed as a procurement law that literally legitimized and gave the government the authority to thief. We've written a thief law in Trinidad and Tobago. Nobody else can be ahead of us anymore on the who is the most corrupt country in the world. We win. We wrote a law where it is now legal for the government to thief. And you say now home eating popcorn. So you're not home eating popcorn. Let me watch Phillip right now. Phillip on. Let me watch Phillip. He started the show nice, a nice song, a little skit. I like it. That is good entertainment. Later on tonight, DJ Anna go show us again how Guyanese does wine. And I can't wait for me and my 3,000 friends to focus on that while the country goes to shit around you. Hey, it's raw sewage in my house, but Anna, show them that Guyanese wine again. Because we are jackasses as a nation. I'm not doing any lives. People are asking me every day, every night, we got a live today. This one important, this important. You hear about this? I'm making sure you know about this. Look, the whole flight manifest. And what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What is going to happen now? What next? Now that you've seen it, you've seen glaringly that not only did Keith Rowley's daughter come into the country with 8 friends, bump Trinis, who've been outside, locked outside, waiting for months, bump them off the flight and bring in she friends for a line with mommy and daddy for Christmas. You see that? You see that she come in on the 16th, and by the 24th, she taking picture with Rowley and the family. That means they in quarantine. You see all that. Penelope Beckles, the darling and the sweetheart of the PNM, she was on that flight too. You see all of that. And what now? What now? What now? Rudal Monilal just tell the nation a helicopter was parked up in a building for 5 years. He know, because the People's Partnership entered the lease. The lease is now going to cost Trinidad and Tobago $100 million. I am listening to Rudal Monilal tell the country that the PNM hide a helicopter for 5 years. And I ask him 2 questions. 1, whose job it is now to punish from the Prime Minister down for wasting that $100 million. And 2, Rudal, it take you 5 years to remember, boy. Come on. It take you 5 years to tell we about the helicopter. Come on. Our politics has to get better. Our politics has to be about representation. Our politics has to be about the entire opposition coming outside the Red House and filling Woodford Square, calling out your 450,000 people and the rest of Trinidad and Tobago. Because I come in too, is I give legitimacy to Keith Rowley and David Abdullah with the Section 34 march. I help them. I will help you. It is time now, because the UDCOT that's suing me for defamation for questioning how the hell that Red House, that was a standing structure, cost $500 million to repair. They have nobody else in Trinidad and Tobago doing them thing, talking them thing. So when Trini see thing happening, they coming to me, blowing up my phone. Phil, you see this? I want to keep you in the loop. We get a live tonight. You know why I'm not getting any lives? Because it doesn't matter. I am no longer entertainment. I did it for the politics. I did it to build the ground, the ground for the PEP, to give you an option. I fought every day and every night. We gave you a manifesto that was second to none. A PNM troll come on my wall and tell me you were supposed to give me reboot the republic. You only give me 21 policies. I ask her, anybody else had a policy to match any one of them 21? When we stop at 21 and say it didn't make a difference to put out how to fix the country, people wasn't thinking that. People was looking for 5 cents to pay to see ants dance. People want bullshit. They want to take drug financier money and spend it all over the media and fool you to see Stuart Young, left foot, right foot, watch me, doing the balize, and they're buying that shit. They have poor people in this country that can't feed the children, that PNM till they're dead, and they're burying them. And Stuart Young, for his left foot, right foot, they're making billions. You have a government that recused itself 75 times from the cabinet. The government, cabinet members had to recuse themselves 75 times because they are in breach of the fundamental principle of governance. And by Christ, all you vote them back into office. The government is writing laws to get all the business people in this country personal business so that they could compete with them and shut them down for their finances. And all is still voting for that. 450,000 UNC supporters come outside. Don't wait on Dave Tanko. Dave Tanko want to play guitar, slick back his hair and pretend he's Elvis. Dave Tanko is nobody leader. That what all you're following. Anil Roberts and Douglas politics can't do it. This is not the same Anil from Spoke. Anil is badly damaged. Room 201 and blurbs damage Anil for life. Anil is the best thing in the UNC right now. He weak and he hobbled and he doing a little video from his kitchen. And I'm watching him and I saying, better you than me, boy. Better you than me. Suzette, all the way in Europe, family safe, tucked away in working country every now and then. She pelting out something for all you trying to see. Look what all you're putting up with. Look at all you're putting up with Trinidad and Tobago and all you still can't find her shoes. I watch a police officer in the capital in America backing up stair after staircase. He have his boot in his hand, you know, but he alone and he facing a crowd coming up the stairs and he backing up stairs after stairs and then 4 more police reach and they feel a little mannish and they stop everybody in the tracks until they realize there are about 10,000 people behind them and then all 4 start to back up. People power is not something to joke about and it is not something to joke with. But in Trinidad and Tobago, we only in it for the popcorn. We in it to bad talk one another. A man tell me tonight, the biggest asset to the bandits behind this PNM is the UNC. And the reason they are the biggest, because if Trinidad had 90% African and only 10% Indian, we would have ended up with 2 parties out of that and they'd have fight one another. But right now, we can't fight. Because the UNC don't know how to stand up to the PNM. The PNM had nothing. Keith Rowley couldn't get people in St. James. I was there. I watched. Ask Paul Daniel Nahus. He was there with me when Alicia Hospitalis and Amory Brown talking on that platform. And they can't get 50 people to come out. I was there. I watched. Section 34 was a lifeline to the PNM. And the UNC could have dealt with that better. The UNC was supposed to deal with that better. Kamala was to jail Herbert Volney. That is what Trump do, his right-hand man. When it comes to a partner, if you make the mistake, you're falling on your sword. But they didn't know how to do that. They don't know how to do that. Keith Rowley with a fistful of lies, email gate. A fistful of lies went into the parliament and threw down the People's Partnership. And the UNC did not take advice about how to communicate. So they play shit. They went in the parliament and talked about Rowley mother and Rowley child. And like if that was going to change black people's mind, they was going to say, wait, no, now they're paying people to go on Ian Allen show to talk about Rowley interfere with them. Like, oh, this is a country that's going to not vote for him because of that. The same UNC that Bastio Pandey had a woman go up a ladder to change what was the Pamela Gokul matter about? All you remember? This is Trinidad and Tobago. Them things don't matter. You're supposed to know how to communicate, to capture hearts and minds. There are 450,000 frustrated UNC supporters watching the nonsense that is going on in government and wondering when is there going to be an opposition response. I said I am going to give Kamala my support. Ramona Ramdial come on way in Sturge Wall and say she I getting made senator and all kind of thing. Listen, I ain't cut no deal with nobody. I yet to talk to Kamala. I am supporting the UNC to move the PNM. Make no mistake about that. The 450,000 UNC voters have 2 choices. Them have to stand up. They have a saying, when the people lead, the leaders follow. The membership of the UNC have to stand up, because if they don't stand up, get comfortable in opposition. Trust me on that. Get comfortable. Look at the kind of jokers that put themselves. The party general secretary wanted more power for himself, so they couldn't fire him. So he screened himself, give himself a UNC safe seat, and get elected. Like Rodney Charles. Rodney Charles is the biggest joke ever to give a title PRO, to speak on behalf of a party. Dress up as a trade engineer, a UNC that hobbled by Section 34 email gate, Mary King, and everything else that went on, Anil, and all the things, live sport, all of the things that the PNM could have beat them with. Rodney Charles down on South Key, spinning a freaking wheel. I tell them, I say you could hear that loss coming. It's the sound of inevitability. And you know what was sad? You know what angered me? The People's Partnership delivered. They have cricket grounds. I said so. I drive through this country in every little backwater. The cricket grounds get lights. People could bring their family out in the night and play. They solve traffic in Diego Martin, Valencia. They solve traffic in Toco. They delivered. The People's Partnership delivered. And yet, lost office. They should have won a bigger majority in 2015. Lost office. The UNC could have won in 2020. You know why we had to form a People's Party, a Progressive Empowerment Party? Because there was nothing looking real on the landscape. And the second loss that they lost in 2015 and they lost in 2020. And like that, they wake them up yet. Because somebody tell me, how tonight Kirk Megu is the UNC PRO. In what world does a historian who could go and sit down with Fazir Mohammed and explain how Eric Williams tied Capaldeo shoe? He could explain those things in a high-sounding accent, but he cannot bring the fight to the PNM. And the public relations officer of the party, of the opposition, Faris Al-Rawi, hate him, love him. Faris Al-Rawi is the hardest working PRO I have ever seen in my life. There was nowhere you could have turned on a TV or a radio and not see and hear his convent accent in his shiny suit with his pocket square. There was nowhere. The UNC had no answer to him then. Thank God he's not the PRO now. If he was the PRO now, well, they have no opposition. PNM would have run away with everything. But they realize, I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. Because if the PNM doing all the wrong that they're doing and the opposition not calling people out in the street, they're going through the motions. You're going to fight local government by-election and paying attention to that is win by increments. You're playing checkers. This is chess. You're looking to win by increments. Progressive Empowerment Party lost. We lost. We lost bad. We get licks. We get kicked up in the head. You know how to tell me? I know. I tried. And we could say we tried. Not one coke dollar. Not one bandit. Not one white-collar criminal. Not one of the bandit clan from the contract mafia. Not one of them involved. Not one recycled politician. The Progressive Empowerment Party was this country's best, most powerful chance to unite and fix Trinidad and Tobago. And we said, no, we want to be racist. Okay, carry on. Carry on. We planting onion and want to pick orange. The people who dance left foot, right foot, I told them the only thing you're going to be signing with a PNM pen is your children death warrant, is the loss of your home, is the loss. Look at what they take away. They take away free university education and broaden CPEP. As if to say without guile, without fear. They don't care if you realize what they're trying to do is to tell you, we want you dependent. We don't want you educated. An educated citizen will not fall for PNM bullshit. An educated citizen will not take Rowley chain up. Rowley, just ask THA, Tobago House of Assembly people, what going to happen to your children? Education if the opposition win. It is the Opposition United National Congress that built schools for all. It is under the UNC, not Eric Williams, not Patrick Manning, not George Chambers. It was Basdeo Pandey first with Kamla Prasad Bisesa as Minister of Education that provided a school place for every child in this country. And then they came back and built a preschool place for every child in this country. And this demon horde, this band of bandits, they have schools like Beach High School that they wouldn't open, hiding that too from the people. And I could tell you that the People's Partnership, the UNC, was supposed to be able to stand on its deliverables. It fell on its bullshit. And it's going to bullshit more. They're going to organize again the cliques and clans and cooks. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know if I don't know if it's an OB that somebody work on them, or I don't know if they just don't want to win. If they're faking it to fool you. Because the UNC don't want to win. If the UNC wanted to win, they would have appointed somebody as PRO that would have made the PNM shit their pants tonight. The PNM not shit in their pants. The PNM not even passing win. Kirk Megu frightens nobody. Kirk Megu is a powder puff. He is a nice guy. I like him. He is brilliant. He writes books. He is intelligent. He is not a PRO. In World War II, after Normandy, despite the fact that Germany had lost millions of men on the Russian front, people had starved to death, that eat one another. The Russians did what they want, millions of men. There was an action that the Germans did called the Battle of the Bulge. Research the Battle of the Bulge, because the combined international response to Germany that succeeded Normandy, that was going forward through France into Europe, met an onslaught called the Battle of the Bulge that they couldn't understand. It had them in disarray. It was going to destroy them. And one more day of cloud cover. One more day of cloud cover so that the Allied bombers couldn't reach and bomb the German positions. One more day of cloud cover. The Battle of the Bulge, England speaking German today. True talk. And you need to know history. They say those who do not learn from history are condemned to relive it over and over again. We are at a point in our country's history where the government wrote a law legitimizing government theft. There is no disguising what was done to the procurement legislation. The Deputy Director Procurement Legislator resigned in disgust. He said, this is insane. You can't be telling people that this is a procurement bill and it governs nothing. It protects the people from nothing. This is a balloon. This is not a real solid structure of substance. But where is our national response? If the script was flipped, if the UNC was in office and this was going on, if Kamala had people locked outside, David Abdullah would have been pulling out all his hair. Rowley would have been growing hair through his bald head. Where is this opposition's version of Abdullah, Al-Rawi, and Rowley? Where is their Roger? Where is their front line? Who in the UNC is going to stand up to the juggernaut that is a PNM, backed by some of the biggest, dirtiest money in this country's history, in digging in for political hegemony? Where is the national response? I am appealing to the 450,000 UNC supporters. Go and kick your party into gear. Don't sit down home waiting for them to come up with a plan. Kirk Megu is not a plan. Kirk, my brother, I apologize to you. Like Gary Aboud. Satish Ramsaran beating me because I call out Gary. Gary, you can't pretend that the country not on fire. You can't sit back. You can't refuse to call family members' names. You can't pretend, Gary. I love you bad and I'm forever in your debt. It is because of you and your activism by Movie Town that I got brave enough to become an activist. And I told you that. But you can't drop the ball and you can't fail. Soldiers die with their boots on. Soldiers die with their boots on. We don't get to stop. The Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago is our response to no political power. We have no political power. I told Felicia Holder that today. I said the reason we are the Citizens Union is because there is no political power outside of the government and the opposition. So the only way that we are going to get political power is to organize the people who don't have representation. And we're doing that. And it's hard-ass work. It's hard-ass work to convince Trinbagonians. It is only when it reached them they just call me, blow up my phone. If I read the 10,000 WhatsApp I have here in my phone, I will embarrass people. who just called me on the phone. Mr. Phillip, I know you said don't call, but I need to call. It's an emergency. And they think, and I told you all, they think that if they cry to me, that somehow I will find a magic bag of money to come and feed the children. From where? From where? When you're having problems with police, when you're having problems with family, when you're having problems with the public officials, when people come and take your land, when your life threatened, there a woman who messages me morning, noon, and night because her life is in danger and the police not taking her on, and she feels that she's gonna get killed by her husband. And she is giving me a ball-by-ball commentary, and there is nothing I could do for her because I don't have office. I don't have office. The Senate was all the PNM had when the People's Partnership had a special majority. I want you to understand, because hate him as much as you want to hate him. What Keith Rowley and Farris came back from, Stuart Young arrived late in the game. What Keith and Farris pulled that PNM back from, Jack Warner was a power never before seen in politics. He learned, and he learned well. He sat at the altar of Basdeo Pandey and he watched everything that Pandey did, and he saw everything that Pandey did right and he saw everything that Pandey did wrong, and he knew what he had. Jack Warner knew the firepower that he had. What he needed was the knowledge, and he realized that he was unelectable. The man savvy and he bright. He understood that he was unelectable, but Kamala was, that they would elect Kamala. Jack Warner did Gypsy Jack, Ramesh Jack, Pandey Jack. All of them was different versions of what Jack learned from all. Jack sat and listened and he learned. So when the People's Partnership, when they bounce up, when they move Pandey and they get Kamala as the leader of the UNC, when they move Pandey out of the opposition, out the parliament, get Kamala as the leader of the opposition, when Dukaran and Kamala bounce up at Pagua, you remember that? Around the world they heard that, the great healing that brought the whole Congress of the People back to the United National Congress. The ground started to shake. Jack knew what he was doing. He went and bring the Tobago Organization of the People, Ashwood Jack. He didn't know where up was from down, but Jack was going to blow into his sails and make him big. That was the Tobago Jack, and he win. And that wasn't enough. Jack went and get Abdullah and what was he former? Errol McLeod. He went and bring them, and that wasn't enough. He gave legitimacy to NJAC. He bring black people, the blackest party in the country, into the United National Congress and formed the People's Partnership. So the racist Indians, because they have racist Indians in the UNC, like they have racist Africans, like they have racists in every race in this country, for some reason, this little 2x4 shit bucket, if there's one thing we're good at, is hating one another based on skin color and hair texture. But that's a story for next time. They create a People's Partnership to satisfy everybody's fears and put together a war machine that was unstoppable. It crushed Manning. It crushed him. It took a special majority away from the PNM. It beat them so bad on the 24th of May that on the 25th of June or July, there was a local government election. They crushed them again. They took away all the corporations. The UNC was running rampant. The People's Partnership was supposed to be on ascendancy. And Farris and Keith didn't stop. Death by 1,000 cuts. They wanted, I sat on Section 34, I sat on that round table. They wanted 2 scalps. They needed 2 scalps. They wanted 3. 3 was important, 2 was important, 3 was good. If they got Jack, Anand, and Anil, they win. And they knew that. They were playing chess, UNC playing checkers. Everybody inside the UNC started to separate themselves into their little gangs and their little cliques, and the crab in the barrel. That is the UNC. And nothing I telling the 450,000 members of the UNC tonight, nothing I telling them is news. Because every time the UNC came out of power, it is UNC. Ramesh pull Pandey down. Ramesh, Ralph, and Trevor is who pull Pandey down. And it is the UNC that pull itself down. And when they got Jack, because the cabal talk was a real talk. And when they got Jack, they needed to get Annan and they needed to get Anel. And the entire machinery focused on those two. And Live Sport destroyed Anil. And Annan and Gary was fired. And Timothy Hammersmith and that whole madness. But by then, the Kamla Prasad Bisesa that had a special majority of government was barely standing up. She announced election late and said that they were constitutionally entitled to an extra 3 months. That meant that the UNC knew the election date 6 months longer than everybody else and still couldn't get their act together because it is what is going on inside the UNC. And I want to say that to them. Fix that. Fix it. I don't want to come inside of there. I don't want to have to come and try to make excuses for what's going on. Fix it. You have 450,000 followers who look into you to give them political representation. Fix your shit. Fix it. It's not enough to just say you're removing the bandits. Remove those who cloud in the eyes of those who are supposed to be seeing clearly. The best things going on in the UNC right now after Kamla, because Kamla is still very electable. Vasan Bharat and his crew walk around town saying Kamla lost 12 elections. That's bullshit. Vasan is a convenient reteller of history and a double-tongued deceiver. Kamla lost 2 important elections, 2015 and 2020. Those are the elections that matter. The rest of them are all bullshit. Because if you count the amount of national elections Pandey lost, he lost 6. But if you count the rest of the bullshit elections that Pandey lost, he lost 600. The UNC won nothing under Pandey, okay, until he got office. So if Vasan Bharat, who was Pandey's last ally, last soldier, he was the last one to cross over. He was the one when Kamla beat Pandey in the internal election. It was Vasan that was calling for a recount. Vasan didn't recognize Kamla as the winner. What do I recommend that the UNC do? Stop the shit now. And you know who have that power? The 450,000 members. It is you that own the UNC. It is you that gives the UNC its power and its legitimacy. It is not me. I am an outsider. I am telling all of you, I am giving you my full support. I will fight. I will put information in the public space UNC members didn't know. As I come and tell you all, Ish and Steve come straight from the belly of the PNM. That wasn't UNC people. And all of it, Piarco Airport and the arrest of the airport, 11, 13, 15, Section 34, email gate, all of that come from Ish and Steve. And Ish and Steve come from the PNM. The PNM infect the UNC, but Pandey said he will sleep with the devil for power. The devil don't sleep with you for free. The bill comes, and you better be able to pay the bill. I am saying to the 450,000 UNC members, rally around Kamla. Give her the strength to purge that party. Get rid of the shit snakes and the crabs that are dividing and destroying the UNC. Nobody have no divine right to office. If anybody have divine right to office in this country, is me. I'm an activist 26 years. I've accomplished more without office than most politicians. I got disabled parking. I was instrumental in 2 laws. I got the highway for Diego Martin. It is I that made feeding the homeless fashionable. I got two tranches of subventions for the orphans. They got none before the formation of the Jericho Project. I did all those things. I could done now. I've paid back for my country. I take care of my family. I cool. There is no guilt driving me. I believe that all my bills are settled. I am 53, going on 54. I will be 54 years old on the 17th of January. My father, I took him Sinclair Medical Center to see the brain specialist this week. My father have a shunt in his brain. I watching my father counting the years between me and him. And I know that we human beings have a certain allotment of years, good years of life. And I don't want to waste another single one. And it is because of my children, my parents, and my loved ones that I still fighting for this shithole. Trinidad is a shithole. When they come to ask me how I could say that, I said, jackass, you are up to your neck in shit. What it is you think you smelling? Charles chocolate? What do you think that is floating by? Snuggle? You're up to your neck in shit. The country has no income. The country that was the third wealthiest nation in the Western Hemisphere 40 years ago is bankrupt, broken, in debt. The government is running the country on taxation. It is literally uncovering Peter to cover Paul. If you don't know you in a shithole, shut your mouth because you're going to drown on shit. Don't stand up there with your mouth open. I am telling you facts, and I'm saying facts. And I want to tell you this, and I know this to be true. If I survive the coming storm, this country have too many hungry people right now. And this government doesn't seem to care. And Fitzgerald Hines, who went and get wet in Beaton, these fellas has fooled themselves to believe their own bullshit, you know. Went and beat street sign with brooms surrounded by PNM supporters. There are too many hungry people in this country. This government have a responsibility to make jobs job one. But I think that this government owe the devil plenty. Satan walking heavy in this country. Heavy. I watched that government bribe religious organizations before the elections to silence them. And I say shame on all of you who not using your pulpits to talk to your congregation and tell them this is wrong. Democracy means, go and listen to what Eric Williams' speech. Let me tell you, you want to talk father in the nation. Eric Williams' Independence Day speech. Democracy means, you want to hear it from the horse's mouth?
The first responsibility that devolves upon you is the protection and promotion of your democracy. Democracy means more, much more than the right.
I want Keith Rowley, Faris Al-Rawi, Stuart Young, Colm Imbert, Rohan Sinanan, and the entire pickup side pushing behind the UNC. I was going to tell you all just now, the best things in the UNC, David Naked, Jerlyn John, Saddam Hussein, Vandana Mohit. This girl Anita is blow where the breeze blow. So I yet to give her any credibility. She's talk sweet, but I know, I out here too long. What sweet in goat mouth, sour in the bottom. So I waiting to see her do something other than sweet talk. But I want them to hear what Eric say. You need to hear what Eric say, because the first responsibility that redounds to you is the defense of your democracy. That's what I do.
Responsibility that devolves upon you is the protection and promotion of your democracy. Democracy means more, much more than the right to vote, and one vote for every man and every woman of the prescribed age. Democracy means recognition of the rights of others. Democracy means the equality of all in the eyes of the law. Democracy means equality of opportunity for all in education, in the public service, and in private employment. I repeat, and in private employment. Democracy means responsibility of the government to its citizens, the protection of the citizens from the exercise of arbitrary power, of the government to its citizens, the I repeat, and in private employment. Democracy means responsibility of the government to its citizens. Democracy means responsibility of the government to its citizens. Democracy means responsibility of the government to its citizens. Democracy means responsibility of the government to its citizens. The protection of the citizens from the exercise of arbitrary power and the violation of human freedom and individual rights.
and it is our responsibility as citizens, according to the father of the nation, the founder of the People's National Movement, the planter of the Balizé seed, Dr. Eric Williams. If you believe that he is the author and framer of our condition, listen to what he says, because it is what I do, and it is the opposite of what this version of the PNM is doing.
Democracy means responsibility of the government to its citizens, the protection of the citizens from the exercise of arbitrary power and the violation of human freedom and individual rights. Democracy means freedom of worship for all and the subordination of the rights of any one race to the overriding right of the human race. Democracy means freedom of expression and assembly and organization.
Democracy means freedom of expression and assembly and organization. Today I sat with a lawyer for 2 hours and 45 minutes dealing with 7 cases that have been brought against me by PNM financiers and a state organization trying to shut me up from doing exactly what Eric Williams say. I have a responsibility to this country to do. We are slipping down a track. We are going down into dictatorship. All of you who sitting down eating popcorn, all of you who waiting for somebody to ride in here on a white horse with a helmet and save you, or you're watching too much TV. I want to tell you something. The only thing to rescue and save Trinidad and Tobago is you. Stop talking about people. Stop looking for enemies. When people come on my wall to talk shit, as block them. Somebody come and talk shit to me in real life, as walk away. I ain't calling your name anymore. I ain't talking to you. I ain't trying to convince you. If you have abdicated common sense and reason, there is no more purpose to me talking to you. All of you need to do that. You need to put on blinkers. A racehorse wears blinkers because he don't want to see nothing else but the road in front of him. And the road in front of us is the defense of this democracy. Trinidad and Tobago is in trouble. If you are not seeing it, or if you are refusing to see it, if you are rationalizing what is going on because of your race, if you don't like me, or you don't like somebody who's standing up next to me, or you don't like something I say, but you agree with what I say, you know how much time they get catch sharing my words without knowing that it was my words, but they're saying this is the truth, and when they find out it's me, they feel bad. Because it's too easy for people in this country to bad talk one another. All of the PNM, hands in their back pockets, stand up on the sideline, telling me when you're giving out food on Christmas Day, the Bible says don't let the left hand see what the right hand doing. That is bullshit. That is misuse of the Bible, misquote and convenient quoting. Jesus Christ told them every time, go and tell the world what you've seen here. Jesus Christ would have told them, if they had cell phones 2,000 years ago, go live, I am about to make 4 loaves and 2 fish, feed 1,000 people. Jesus Christ told them, there's a song that says, he sent me to bring the good news to the poor. Tell prisoners that they are prisoners no more. Tell blind people that they can see. And set the downtrodden free. Go tell everyone the news that the kingdom of God has come. Go tell everyone. Just as the Father sent me, I am sending you out to be witnesses throughout the world. The Bible, Christ in the Bible told them, go and evangelize. The Holy Spirit came down on the apostles after Christ was dead and resurrected and went up to heaven and touched each of them with a tongue of fire and changed the tongue that they spoke with so that they could go all around the world and evangelize. 2/3 of the Bible was written by a fellow named Paul, formerly Saul, who had to fall off the horse on his overnight ride to Damascus to collect taxes. I want to tell you something. When you come in to talk shit, don't talk shit with somebody who's bring his facts to the table. Christ is telling you, when you see you're serving and you're sharing, make sure people know so that it's spread as a message, infectious. Other people want to share. There was an organization called 141 that formed an exact copy of the Jericho Project. We could have never reached out. We could have never reached out, and members of the Jericho Project tell me they're copying us. I say that is a perfect reason for us doing what we're doing. We need one to copy us in Tobago. We need one to copy us in Central. Then we know we're successful. Imitation is not only the sincerest form of flattery, it is the best way to get the message all around the world. And what we're trying to do is help and carry each other. So when these people who wouldn't spend 10 cents to see our hands dance come in to tell me about when we giving out food, don't let my left hand see what my right hand doing. That is bullshit artists. All you're buying from cheap pastors in shiny suits and fake socks. I want to tell you this. The mission is not only to raise people up, but to evangelize and spread the word and let people know that there are people who are strong enough and brave enough and courageous enough. Paul Revere in 1776 went on a long ride, not to keep a secret, but to tell the news that the British were coming. We will get nowhere if we play in political hide and seek, name calling, shaming and naming, all of us holding our corner, telling ourselves, I am a this, I am a that. So if I don't fit this and I don't belong in that, we're going nowhere. Until all of us could wrap ourselves in the red, white, and black. Don't be calling me for live videos. Do live videos yourself. Stand up. Stand on your corner. Stand in your community. And to the 450,000 members of the UNC, if you want, you see all of y'all who talking about the PNM, they say that they don't care. As long as it's a black man in power, they got the dirt. They had plenty of others do the same shit. It is time for us to put that nonsense down. Put country first. I don't need no job. I don't need no office. I don't need no salary. I don't need no blue lights. I don't need more girls in my life. I have it nice. I'm not coming to anybody party looking for anything for me. I am looking for a rescue for my country. I am saying to those who have an out now, get out. If we fix it, come back home. Don't stick around. If you could leave. I don't want on my conscience that people say, Philip, I only stayed because I thought you was going to fix it. If you have out, leave. To the rest who can't, stand up. Stand up. To the 450,000 members of the UNC, write an email tonight. Send a WhatsApp. Write a letter and deliver it to Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Tell her you have a responsibility as the leader of the opposition and the leader of this party to lead us into government. I am willing to help for free. I don't want no office. I don't want no position. I don't want nobody pulling my strings. No financier, no party organizer, no boss. I'm out here a long time. I know what I'm about and I know that I could help. I know that I could make a difference. I'm not one of them little people like Marcia Braveboy who waiting for somebody to pay her house rent and give her a radio show again so she can eat and stunt. I don't need those things. I am in this for one thing, a better Trinidad and Tobago. Write your member of parliament tonight. UNC members, I am appealing to you, to the rest of Trinidad and Tobago, to the 600,000 people that don't vote, stand up. My number is 682-2110. Message me and tell me, 600,000 of y'all, message me and tell me, I want to be on your WhatsApp broadcast. I want to join the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. I want to stand with you. I want to be ready to put country first. Oh, that is 1,100,000 people. 450,000 UNC members. 600,000, none of the above. It is time for us to stand up. Every other political opportunist and charlatan that tried to get your vote in 2020, gone like mist in sun. They disappear. They vaporize. None of them are around. Nobody. Vasant, after he tried a little bit of stone to win the UNC leadership, failed, nothing. You have nothing to say. Care about nobody but himself. Send a little Christmas greeting or him sitting down posing. Maybe he get some girls with that. I don't know. But I want you to see the Citizens Union have set up an office on Park Street in Port of Spain. And on the 31st of January, we will be feeding at the very least 1,000 people with hampers. We are working to raise $300,000 to pay for those hampers. Whoever you are, wherever you are in this world, you'll see what we do. We take fishes and loaves and feed the multitudes. So if you give us your money, you know that at least 1,000 people, and you will see it live on camera, when they come to our office on Park Street on the 31st of January to collect the hampers, you will see what we do. We need your help. Felicia Holder's number is 7694590. WhatsApp her and say, I want to give you a hamper. I want to sponsor a hamper. I want to give you $3,000 for 10 hampers. I want to give you $30,000 for 100 hampers. Help us help those who need help. Hadassah Charles McLeod is on this thread, as is Satish Ramsaran and other members of this organization. The Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, if you have not yet joined, reach out to Hadassah, reach out to Satish, go to citizensuniontt.org, citizensuniontt.com, fill out the form and join. There's a $100 registration fee, $250 a year. But on the 16th of January, you will see what we do with our money. While the rest of them fanning their ass and home, stretch out on the couch, we have served the Ministry of Public Administration over 3 Alexandra Place with a Freedom of Information request that they have ignored. They've gotten a pre-action protocol letter from us that expires on January the 15th. On January the 16th, if they do not respond, we're going to court. We need the money for legal fees. We told you when Winston Ragu total how much money we're going to make. When you see how much we spent on legal matters and advertising, just those 2 things, you'll understand why we need to charge. Because if I wanted 20,000 people to join the Citizens Union, I'd make it free, and 20,000 people would join now. We need your help. When you need ours, we prove this. The strength of the wolf is the pack, but the strength of the pack is wolf. We are here to respond to everybody when they need assistance. They have state organizations in this country right now that have no union representation. We are in conversation with all of them. If you would like to volunteer and assist in the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, please come aboard. We are the fastest growing activist organization in this country. Real representation for people who have nobody to turn to. And do not wait for all the doors to slam in your face to call my phone. Because we tell people there's a 3-month moratorium from joining to getting assistance. Because there are a lot of people who will wait till they bust their toe to pick up the phone and call me and say, join in, come and fix my toe. It don't work so. Because we are a limited resource and we have to work with all of the requests coming our way for help. That said, join the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. Join now. Go on, there's a Facebook page. Satish is sharing all of the numbers. Join now. Go and join the Citizens Union tonight. 1,000 of you should join tonight. I want 1,000 people who are not members of the Citizens Union. You could WhatsApp me right now. Look, my phone here. Light it up. 682-2110. If you're not yet a member of the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, message me direct. And I will go and sit down in that office with Hema and Adrian and Brandon and Stacy and the rest of the crew and make sure that they get you signed up and on board. We need you. You need us. A better Trinidad and Tobago is within our grasp. All of us standing together. If you want that, you've always had us. We stood for you with the Progressive Empowerment Party. We're standing for you now as the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. To the 450,000 members of the United National Congress, the fate of this country is in your hands. Tell the leaders of the UNC, get your act together as opposition. It is important. We cannot lose Trinidad and Tobago. Don't be one of those people who had to say, where was I when it was falling apart? Be able to respond, I did my all. I gave my all. This is my 27th year of national service for free. Nobody could question my bona fides or my political resume. I have been about Trinidad and Tobago from day one. Going forward from here, we need all of you on board. If you are not yet a member of the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, please join tonight. Please go to citizensuniontt.org and join. You can go on Facebook and go on our page. There are links on the page. You can reach out to Satish, reach out to Hadassah, reach out to me. We need your assistance with the hampers. We want to feed 3,000. I like that. My phone lighting up. We want to feed 1,000 people on the 31st of January with hampers for their family. A $300 hamper could stretch almost for a month. We're working with suppliers. They're giving us real good prices. They have some real good people in this country. They're giving us half price. They're matching dollar for dollar, so that if we put food and we put in non-perishable food, we want to make sure that our people, and if we do it and we get through on the 31st of January, we'll do it on the 28th of February, and we'll do it on the 30th of March. We will make sure that we help as many people as possible. If you help us help more than 1,000, we will feed more than 1,000. It is time we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, stood together. Also, if you want to be a beneficiary of a hamper, you need to register. Register with Hadassah Charles McLeod. The reason you need to register with Satish Ramsaran. The reason you need to register is because of social distancing and COVID-19. We need to be able to contact 1,000 people and say, you are on the list. Please come on this day at this time. Other than that, we'll end up with old mass and the police will come and stop everything. Going forward from here, share this video everywhere. Talk to your people. Get your people to understand. Country first is the most important thing. There are big people in this country that messaging me and telling me they're suicidal, they want to kill themselves, they can't believe how bad things are. I want to tell you, hush your ass. You're not here to kill yourself. You're here to stand up and help one another, and you'll feel good about yourself. We have to pull together as a nation. We have a responsibility to each other. Stand up, Trinidad and Tobago. The Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago is a vehicle and a means for you to do that. Until next time, stay safe.